Now we learn about the try catch activity which is available in UiPath. That is try catch activities. That is a part of error handling. If we'll use that try catch activity, that will look like this: the try catch here, the try catch and try and catches and finally. So the try catch is one of the best, or you can say the important activity to handle runtime errors in UiPath. If you see here, there are three blocks: the try, catches and finally. Okay, we'll see here the try block. It means the try block in UiPath is used to place the activities or sequences that may throw exceptions. Like, you know that in this workflow you will get that error. Might be you will get an error, right? Might be you are writing a code to read the config file, and you know that like anytime it can happen. The programmer knows that's why the programmer will have to put that code in try block, so that anytime if that file is missing, then the catch block can catch that error and show to the users, right? And catches block in UiPath is used to handle the exceptions. It always comes after try block. We can use multiple catches to catch the different types of exceptions. Like the term catches means the multiple catch, right? It means the multiple exception can be catched by the try catches activity, right? So that's why the term is used catches. Okay, so we can use multiple catch to catch the different types of exceptions. Now the finally block, the last is finally block. Finally block is used to execute the important activities which is to be executed whether an exception is thrown or not. For example, if you are using any resources that should be free, right? Like cleanup activities code, something like kill all open process. So all the process should be written in finally block. It means you are getting an error or not, your finally block will be executed. It means if you write any activities, if you put any activities in that finally block, that activity or steps will be executed. So normally we'll use kill process something, right? And using that kill process we close that, like internet browsers, whatever we have opened at the time of using project, we can close at the time of end of the project. So in the finally block we use that kill process. Okay, so this is the same as like for example, you are going to use the fridge, and from the fridge you have taken a water bottle and you drank water, and after you cannot keep the fridge door open, right? You have to close that door of the fridge. So this is also same as that finally block. It means at last you have to close all these resources which you have used or you are using, right? If you see here in left side, it's showing like MSCORLIV. Like if you go to search that exceptions from the catches block, you will get this one. So the meaning of MSCORLIV means Microsoft Common Object Runtime Library. Okay, so this is a part of Microsoft Common Object Runtime Library, and this is also a type of .NET. So we learned about the exception classes. System.exception classes is the main class, or you can say the base class, which is used to handle system related exceptions, right? System.exception classes has various child classes, or you can say subclasses. So if you see here the left side, they are not only this. If you will open that, if you see here in UiPath catches block, if you just click on browse for types, and you type here system dot, then you can see here there are lots of exceptions available in in UiPath.NET type. You can see here like missing field exception, missing member exceptions, missing method exception, multicast not supported, the system.io directory not found exceptions. So these are the exceptions available in UiPath. So these are the subclasses, exception subclasses of system.exceptions main class. Okay. Now we will see the system exception properties. So below are the few properties of system exceptions. This is not all, but this is just few that is important, that mostly used in every programming languages. Like message, it is used to show the exception message, stack trace and inner exceptions, data and sources. So these are the properties of system exceptions. Note, these are not all properties, just few important properties. So if you will see here, I'm just going to just show you that the property of system exceptions. So normally if you'll use here the message box, I'm just going to not in detail, just showing that that property. So if you'll click here exceptions dot, if you'll click on dot, then if you'll see here the tool, there is icon like tool. So these are the properties, it means these are the property of exception. So if you see here the data is also property of exceptions. Now the another tool is showing here the help link, then h result, then inner exceptions, message, source and stack trace, and after that target side. So these are the properties of exceptions. Now we can see few examples of try, catches and finally block. First examples will take like login to Amazon website and recover if browser crashes. Okay, so we'll learn about the try, catches, finally with example. I will tell you how to log into the Amazon website, and if your browser is crashes due to any reason, then how can we recover, right? So let's see. I have already created one project here. This is the normal steps. You all know that I have just put some activities here to log into the Amazon website. Run this project. So now you can see here it clicked on that login option and then email and then password. So this is the normal without try catch. Now what I'm going to do, if due to any mistake, let's suppose I am not on that page, I am not on the home page of Amazon.com here. If you will keep your website open on this page, then your project will run. So like knowingly I am going to do one mistake. I am just going to click here, okay, and then I am just running this project. So the main motto is to show you that what is the use of that try catch block. So see here, now you are getting error that uipath.co.selector not found exception. It means you are getting an exceptions. So our example is log into Amazon website and recover if browser crashes. So the main work is here, we have to log into the website, right? Even the browser crashes or whatever. So what we'll do, we'll put this steps, the complete activity in try catch block, in try block. So for that we'll just select this activity and we'll press Ctrl T from our keyboard, or you can just right click here and select this option, surround with try catch, right? Or you can do one thing, you can just select, take one activity try catch, and you can connect with the start node. You can cut this, and then you can put that activity in try block, right? But the simple process, you can just select that activity and press Ctrl T, or you can right click on that and you can select the surround with try catch. Okay, so now what will happen, we have just put that activity in try block, so it will open that, it will try to run this project, and if this is getting an error, then that exception can be handled here in catches block. So in catches block, if you see here, if you click here, there are lots of exceptions classes available here. So you know that we are getting an error of selector not found exception, right? So what we can do, you can just go to browser for types and you can click here selector, you can write here selector not found exceptions. So if you let's see here uipath.core.selector not found exception, so we'll select this and we'll click on OK. So now we have taken that exception handling classes here. Now we can take one message box here. Okay, so instead of taking a message box, what we'll do, we'll remove this, and in catch block here we will take one open browser, because we will have to open this browser again and we have to log into Amazon website, and here we will write www.amazon.in. okay, and from the right side we'll select from IE to Chrome browser. Okay, in the do section we can just use one log messages. Okay, and we'll drag and drop here that log messages, because if we'll get that error, then we'll also have to log that error. Okay, or you can use the write line activity to to log that here in output sections. So we can just select here as a warning or error also, and you can put here, because we are writing this in catch block, then we'll write here recovering from browser crashes. Okay, and then we can just click here plus exception dot message. Now if you see here, if we are writing here exception dot message, so message is the property of exception classes, right? So it will just show the message of exception. Whatever exception we'll get here, we will also include, we will write here with this part. Okay, now we'll do one thing, in the do section we'll copy the same thing that we'll have to do. So we'll just copy this and we'll go to the, okay, so we'll copy this and go to the catch block. In do section we'll write paste this Amazon login again. Okay, so first time what we are going to do, we are just going to keep the same page open, and then we'll run this, and let's see it's going to catch this block or not. Okay, so let's run this. So now you can see. Okay, so here if you'll see the output, there is no error exceptions here. Now we are just going to do one thing. We will not keep open this page. We'll just click here, okay, and now run this project, and let's see what's happening. So what will happen, it will open a new browser and it will open that URL amazon.in, and then it will complete the same steps after browser crashes or after getting exceptions. Okay, so it opened one website amazon.in, and now it's and then it's done. And now if you'll see here in output section, you are getting an error like first exception handling execution started, second one the error log has been logged here in output line, recovering from browser crashes, cannot find the UI element corresponding to this selector. Okay, it means we got that error, and after that we completed our same steps. It means we recovered from the browser crashes. See the second number, the example of multiple catches. Press Ctrl T to put that activity in drive log here, and then we'll take multiple catches here. I will show you how to add multiple catches. So we can just click on add new catch, and we can select from here, like let's suppose we are getting an error like for format exceptions. So we'll click here and we'll look for the format exceptions. System dot format exceptions. Okay, so we have taken one activity here, that is format exceptions, and now we can use one log activity here, log message, and we'll put here, and we'll take an error and we'll write here, this is for format exceptions. Okay, and then we can use the plus option to add the exception messages, exception exe dot message. So we have used one catch here in catches block. Now I'm just going to add the second one. We'll click here, and I'm just going to take this time the system dot exception. So system dot exception will handle rest of the all errors which will occur in this try block, right? So in this, again I'm just going to put here the log message activity, and this time I will write here as a warning, as a level warning, and then here I will write this is for exception class, and then here I will write exception dot message. Okay, so this is how you can add multiple catches in UiPath, right? And then let's run this. Please enter any number. Let's suppose I am putting here 54, and please enter any second number. I'm just putting here any string value, and just press OK. Now just see here in output, it's showing this is for exception class mn is not a valid value for integer 32. So now you can see here the second catches block. It means the system exception class catched the exception, this one. The next one is how to handle config file exceptions. Okay, so in handle config file exceptions, the third example I will tell you how to fix the exception, how to handle the exception of config file missing type, right? So the file not found, I have used that. So now if exception file like config file is missing, then we are getting file not found exceptions, right? So what can we do? We can first put that activity in try catch block using control T, and then in the catch block we can take a file not found exceptions, or we can take system.io exceptions, or we can directly take system.exceptions. All three will work same, right? Now we can drag and drop one log message activity here, and as a warning, and here we'll put that config file is not available or renamed. Please check. So as I already told you that we can, the advantage of exception handling, we can show the user friendly error message to the end users, to the user, right? So by this way you can show the user friendly messages, like we are writing here config file is not available or renamed, please check, and run project again, right? And now we can just put here exceptions so that it will show to the user, or if the programmer can understand, dot message, right? And now we can run this. Okay, now just click on output. It is showing here exception because it caught the exception, and the message is config file is not available or renamed, please check and run project again, and then the predefined exception is showing here. So by this way we can handle the exception. Fourth, we'll see here the complete example with try, catch, and the finally block. As you already learned about the try and catches block, and now I'm just going to show you the finally what we can use. As I already told you that you can write here some code that must be executed every time, even like the exception occurred or not. And this could be like cleanup code, something. So we'll take here one first log here, log message here in finally block, and we'll write here information finally block CCU executed, and then we will take one kill process activity, kill process, and in the finally, as you already learned in the programming languages, that in the try catch block, if you have opened a connection like using that connection dot open, then in the finally block you should close that application like using the connection dot closed, right? So this is the same as that we can close all these processes, we can close the connections, we can close the applications, we can close the files. So let's suppose we are using the kill process to close Excel file, because we have used the Excel file. Now we are just closing the Excel file off, end of the project. Now we have used, let's suppose, one Chrome browser. Then we can also, in double quotation, we can write code to close this process here also. Let's run this, and now we'll see here it will close the Excel file and the Chrome browser also. Okay, so now if you'll see here, the Chrome browser is not there and the Excel file is also closed, because with the use of kill process, and finally if you see here in output, first exception started, then in caches block config file is not available, this exception occurred, and then in finally block we had used this log messages and we had written finally block executed. So this is the same message also executed here in finally, and then using kill process we have killed or like Excel application and the Chrome browser, right?